Hello, this is Allan Ruhl from allanruhl.com, and a month ago to this day, I said I was restarting Quarantine Apologetics. I haven't done that yet, but today's the day we have restarted Quarantine Apologetics. So welcome to Quarantine Apologetics. I'm going to talk about a TV show I watched, 10 episodes. I started yesterday, finished it today, called The Wilds on Amazon Prime. I saw a trailer for it, and it looked like a plagiarism of Lost. Lost, that is a show from a long time, goes back to 2005, and that's when it started. Then it went. Lost is a very lazy show because they just throw out plot points without ever having to solve anything. It's very annoying. It's a terrible show. Of course, it hooks you in. And of course, I gave up in season 2. I'm like, you guys aren't answering anything. I'm done. So, I watched a show called The Wilds, just for entertainment. I wanted to see how bad it was. And so, because there are bad things that are sometimes entertaining to watch, like movies like Battle Los Angeles or The Room, things like that. But, so, I saw this show, and I'm like, yeah, you know what, it's Lost with an all-female cast. Now, if you guys know the modus operandi of Netflix or Prime, you will know that if they put a ton of homosexuality in everything. So, in this case, it's probably going to be exclusively female because of the cast. And of course, that's what happened. But in the first episode, it shows them on the plane before the plane crashes. They're talking amongst each other, and there's a Christian girl there. And as soon as I saw this Christian girl, I'm like, they're going to make her a lesbian. They're going to make her lesbian because she's too perfect. She loves Jesus. She's very kind. She's too good looking. And so at that point, I texted my friend, and I told her that I say, okay, 12 minutes into The Wilds, there's a Christian girl. My call is they make her one of the lesbians. This prediction is officially on record. And she says, got it, then says something about the movie she was watching tonight. So I put it on record because I knew they would make her one of the lesbians. And why do I know that? Because I understand the doctrine of original sin. Romans 5, 1 Corinthians 15. And of course, St. Augustine articulates it beautifully. Original sin is very real. And I understand it. And because I'm very Augustinian in my thinking, and I understand this, I'm grounded in scriptures, I know that they're going to make this girl a lesbian. I saw them do the same thing years ago in a TV show called Scandal. I only ever watched the first episode of Scandal, and it was the same thing. There was a Christian guy who got framed, and it's like a perfect Christian guy, very traditional, conservative. He's a member or a deacon at his church. Like, he's as Christian as you can get. But the only way he can produce his alibi is when he talks about how he's with his gay lover. Oh, there you go. Yeah, they had to do that. They would not develop a Christian with strong conviction who's positive in every way and and let him finish with all that conviction, standing strong. No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that at all. And So I knew at that point that Christian girl would be made into a lesbian, or one of the lesbians. There's obviously going to be more. So a few episodes in, we find out one of the girls is a lesbian. Not the Christian girl, but some other girl. Oh, by the way, I should point out, there's actually a Muslim girl, very secular Muslim. In fact, I don't think I'd even consider her Muslim. She comes from a Muslim home, and she's the most sexually liberal out of all of them. And in fact, she goes after the Christian girl at some points, makes a comment about her in the Westboro Baptist Church. So anyway, So in the 6th episode, they're like all the girls are sitting in a circle, and the lesbian and the Christian square off. They get in an argument. I'm paraphrasing here. They're like, "Oh, do you think my lifestyle is sinful, Christian girl?" And she's like, "Look, I'm a Christian, so I think it's a sin. But, I still love you as..." But that didn't matter. The lesbian says F off and then walks away. And then the Christian's like, "Oh, am I not allowed to have my beliefs?" And then one of the girls is like, "Not those ones." Just shows how tolerant these people are. Again, original sin. Know the doctrine of original sin. So anyway, in the next episode, episode 7, the Christian and the lesbian are walking in the woods trying to get kindling for the fire. And then they start talking. I'm like, here it comes. And it happened. With the Christian initiating the kiss, of course. And of course, in the next few episodes, it only gets more intimate between them. And you find out the Christian girl had been dabbling in lesbianism in her past. And of course, things intensify between her and the lesbian on the island. And when that happens, it's always the Christian who initiates it. And so, how did I know from day one that this would happen? It's all about original sin, knowing how the left works. I know how the left works. And Hollywood is one of the hubs of the left. They're not going to have a Christian stay true to their faith, especially if they're strong. They're the only way a Christian would be true to their faith is if they're a huge hypocrite or something like that. But there's no positive conservative Christians who stick by their convictions. And the fact that through the first 6 episodes, she's holding to her beliefs so strongly. It's like they're setting her up to knock her down, And I knew that was the prediction. And then I texted that girl right after, and I told her, yeah, in the 7th episode, I was vindicated. Because it's just so obvious. I know how they work. I know how they work, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to know how they work, just watch what they do. And read the scriptures. Learn about original sin. A lot of Christians don't believe in original sin. It's not a popular doctrine. But it's a very true doctrine. It's the only doctrine you don't need scripture to prove. You can see it in everyday human beings. And we're all tainted with it. That's why you need to be baptized. Anyway, and have faith and pray and do all the usual Christian things. So this is just an example of how Hollywood absolutely hates the Christian faith and what they do. And this is how they depict Christians. And they're not going to stop. What can we do? Well, stick close to our faith and don't be hypocritical. And Lord willing, one day we will take Hollywood back and make proper shows and proper movies where we can preach the gospel of Jesus Christ and win this war against total depravity. Because that's what it is. Not the John Calvin total depravity, but the real total depravity that exists. All right, God bless.